here?
Up live. We'll time out in 9 minutes. Oh.
Have to restart it. I'm not
I think
sure
we're good.
if we are live or not. Okay. Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Teach Me session. I am here today with one of my friends, Jen Herman. Hi, Jen.
Hi, this is going to be fun.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation and being so early with us today here at, I don't know, I think we are live on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So there are a lot of channels. The theme for today is we are going to discuss about Instagram changes and Instagram updates. We know that there are a lot of discussion, including in Jen's group, about these changes, and that's why I invited Jen to join me and address them and discuss what brands should do with these updates and how they impact the way you are doing marketing on Instagram. So before to jump in, I want to introduce Jen and tell you a little bit about her. Jen is an Instagram expert. She helped thousands of marketers, business owners, and brand managers to find success on Instagram. So I think she's the right person to discuss these changes. And yeah, welcome, Jen.
Hi, welcome. Thank you. I was just popping over. I don't see it live on LinkedIn, though. That was my only thing. I was popping over to see if it was broadcasting live while you were doing the quick introduction. Because it says we're live.
Okay,
But
let's.
I'll say hi really quick if you want to hop over and check on those channels and see if it's working. But yes, I'm Jen Herman. I have worked with thousands, as you mentioned, or I've helped thousands of business owners, agencies, brand managers, and that sort of thing work on primarily Instagram. I actually help clients with their social media strategies in general, but I'm known for the Instagram space. I kind of eat, sleep, live, die by the world of Instagram. So it's not something I woke up one day. I was like, hey, I'm going to be an Instagram expert. It kind of evolved over time, but I do love it, and I love the opportunity that it has provided me to connect with so many unique businesses and brands and people around the world to help them figure out how to grow their businesses, how to generate more revenue, how to get more brand awareness, and things like that with Instagram. So I usually get a little deep dive into some of the more technical sides of Instagram, like algorithms and that sort of thing, to really understand why it works. And I know that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. So that should be fun.
Good, good. And I know that Jen already shares with her audience. You had a newsletter where you share all the updates that are coming from Instagram every month. So we'll discuss about this later. So regarding the LinkedIn Live, I'm not sure why it's not working right now, but I hope we'll fix it during this show. Okay, so my first question for you, Jen, is about engagement on Reels. Everyone is talking these days about the fact that engagement is down across all type of posts, especially on Reels. So if in the beginning of the year we got huge rates for Reels, now they are starting to decrease. So I saw a lot of questions even in your group, Jen's Trends on Facebook, but also on Instagram. A lot of people are asking us why I'm not getting this, why my numbers are down with Reels. So what's your advice for brands, for social media managers?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of inevitable. Regardless of how you look at things and how you look at social media, when something is new, and if you're an early adopter and you're out there creating the content, you're going to get more reach and distribution because you're one of the handful of people creating content in that space. Reels have now been around for a while. People have heard, you got to do reels, you got to do reels, you got to do reels. And so there are just more people creating reels. People have gotten more comfortable with reels as a medium. They're watching reels more often now. Like when they first came out, you had a lot of, standoffish people like, nope, I'm not going to watch them. Nope, I'm not going to create them. And no matter what people said, they were like, it's just, I can't do it. I'm not going to create reels. Well, now, 12, 18 months later, people are like, okay, I'm going to create reels. So what happens is you get this saturation of content creation, right? You got that many more people creating content, but if there's no more consumers, there's that much more content to be shared across the platform. And that's what happens as a platform grows, right? When you start off and it's, you've got a few 100,000 users on a platform versus a million versus a billion, it's just saturation of content. And it's unfortunate and it's frustrating when you've gotten used to, oh, that reel normally gets 5,000 views and now I'm getting 1,000. It's just saturation of content. It's just the reality of the platform. But in addition to that, Instagram is evolving, right? We had the whole Make Instagram campaign a few months ago, thanks to the Kardashians. So they were like, okay, you guys don't want everything to be full form vertical and all that kind of, reels related content. So they have pulled back a little bit in an effort to make Instagram more Instagram. Whether or not that's working is another debate. But as a result, we have seen some of that shift in how that content is distributed. So don't freak out. You're not alone. It's not just you that's had the reduced reach. And it just means realigning our baselines, just setting a new expectation for how many, reach we expect to get, how much engagement we expect to get. And just remember to focus on the things that matter. Focus on the things that, are you getting the calls to action follow through? Are you getting people following you? Are you getting people sending you DMs? Are people clicking through on things? Those are the things that matter, not just the views or the normal likes or comments and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so we when we got the first question, I think it was on Twitter on our channel. So a social media manager asked us why they got a lower number on reels that they used to be. So we look a little bit in our database, and we saw that indeed the engagement on reels is decreasing. As you said, there is a saturation on this type of content, but we know that carousels are getting back. For example, they slowly, if at the beginning of the year, the rates for carousels weren't so, I don't know, attractive for the social media managers, and reels started to generate more and more conversations, comments, and stuff like that. Now we saw that carousels are trying to convert better and better in terms of engagement. So I think that always social media managers should mix their content, their content their type of content on Instagram. So don't base all what you're doing only on reels. Try to add also carousels, single image, and use all this type of content. Of course, don't forget to share stories. So my recommendation for brands and social media managers is to mix the content strategy on Instagram, and always have this mindset, not put all your efforts in one single type of content and expect to get huge rates every time with that content.
Exactly. And even with reels, I think it's important for people to understand that reels, for the most part, are top of funnel, right? Like reels, for the most part, aren't conversion generating content. Most people aren't going to follow through a call to action to go to your website and sign up for something from a reel. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but that's not very common for reels type format versus a feed post, the traditional single image. Is stronger for calls to action. So are stories. Stories are great for conversions for most brands. So yeah, if you've gone all in on reels and you're like, oh, well, now we're not getting any engagement or reach, well, you're probably not getting a ton of conversions either. So definitely not all eggs in one basket. Make sure that you are, like I said, using stories, feed posts, the carousels. Carousels are great for that additional exposure. And if your data is showing that increase in reach right now as well, then like I'm all behind the data. Do the carousels.
Yeah. When it comes to Instagram story, now brands can publish 60 seconds stories on Instagram. So how brands can use this update, and how can they leverage this update?
I think it's amazing. I mean, if anyone's ever heard me, you know, brevity is not my strong suit. So trying to get things into 15-second clips were never ideal for me. So 60 seconds, I was like, oh my gosh, I can do everything in one story. And yes, obviously
Yeah.
from ease of creation, right? Being able to record up to 60 seconds. If you're putting music on, you're not worried about it jumping over those 15-second breaks, even if you're recording it as one, you know, with 4 breaks in it. So it definitely is just from a content creation, it's easier. Of course, I'm super suspect to the fact that this is leading towards reels and stories merging together, where they keep making things more similar between the two. It's kind of inevitable. But the reason why I'm super excited about the 60-second stories is because algorithmically there's an advantage here. So if you come to my stories and I have 4 15-second stories and you don't like the first one and it's all one series, you're going to skip through all of them. So you've tapped forward 4 times. And that can be considered a negative ranking algorithmically, in the sense that you didn't want to watch that content. You skipped through it, you didn't consume it. So you're telling Instagram, I don't like Jen's content. Now, of course, it's going to look at all your interaction, but if you're constantly hopping through, that's 4 skip forwards every time you don't want to watch my longer stories videos. Whereas if it's one, you know, 52-second video, you're only jumping ahead once. So it's a less negative impact when you jump ahead, and it's a more accurate reflection for the Instagram algorithm as to how you actually want to consume my content. So when you watch the other videos, when you watch my stories, when you interact with the stickers, you're telling Instagram, yes, I like your content. I just didn't like that one piece. Not, I didn't like 4 pieces of content. So there is an algorithmic advantage to this as well that I think is going to help all of us get better placement within that stories algorithm with our audience.
That's great. I didn't think that this can impact the forward rate or the exit rate. I think it's huge for brands and businesses, because in this way, if they watch at least the first part, or let's say the first 10 or 20 seconds, there's still a way to tell Instagram that I want this type of content. Maybe I don't want to see till the end, but I want this content. So show me the next stories, and not show me just show me content from this person, or from this brand.
Yeah. And you get the retention too, right? So if someone jumps ahead after 10 seconds in a short one, they watch 10 seconds of that, but they're not watching the rest. If you watch that 10, 20 seconds of the longer video, again, it's retention in a single video. So it's helping with that as well, to be able to say, yes, I am watching your videos. And even though we don't have metrics on that, the longer they watch that one, the more they're watching one, the longer you're holding their attention. So if they watch 30 seconds, that's a longer retention, and that is beneficial as well.
Good. They're testing right now to add an option for multiple links in bios. I know that there is a lot of other tools, for example, Linktree. The guys from Later, they have their own tool to add links in bio. So right now they are discussing to add this option for brands, which I think is great. A lot of brands and businesses, when publishing posts, they use CTA to invite people to their pages, to other pages, to watch, I don't know, maybe live like this, or invite them to download something and to get something from their page. What are your thoughts here?
I'm excited about it. I think it's something that has to evolve, and people are going to have to get used to it, because the way that it's formatted currently in its test phase is you see one URL and kind of like a +3. So if you had 3 more links. So we as marketers are seeing this and we're like, oh, this is cool, this is great. But is the average user, is your customer going to know what that means? Where if you say, go click on the link in bio, and they're like, okay, and they click on the one that's there, but it's not the link to what they were trying to find? Like, will they know to click the plus sign? And that's going to take some education. It's going to take some time for this to become an actual useful tool. I think for a while, until the average consumer gets used to it, it's probably going to be more cumbersome. But I think it's great. I think it's something that we've always wanted, more functionality with links. I still am a huge proponent for not putting links in post captions. I still love that we have to work to drive traffic to the bio and get that high quality traffic. So if this is a means to keep, brands and marketers happy by putting more links in the bio, I am all for it. Like I said, I think it's just, if and when this rolls out, you're going to need to do some education. So not just be like, click link in bio. It's going to be like, go to bio, click the plus sign next to the link, and choose option 3. Like, you're going to have to walk people through a little bit of those steps in order to get them there. They're not just going to see a list of links and know where to go. They're going to have to kind of navigate to it. So we'll see how that works and how that works for conversions. You might still find that using those alternative things like Linktree, link in bio, might still be advantageous. Or like I have on my website, my link goes to a dedicated landing page on my website that has all the buttons to things, very much like a Linktree, but I built it on my own website, so I retain the traffic. So I don't know that I would switch to Instagram's version with the multiple links, because I like being able to direct people directly to that landing page and having them navigate from there. But for many people, I can see this being an advantage to have those additional links on that bio.
Yeah, and I think it's an integrated experience. So having all from Instagram when using Instagram, I think it's another experience as a user, and not going through a page created by a specific brand and then going to your and select what you want to show, what you want to visit from that list, and go to other page. Regarding the technicalities for the LinkedIn Live, I'm not sure if we are all live on LinkedIn, but if you want to see us, interact, comment with us, ask Jen questions, you can go on our YouTube channel and ask there your comments, your questions for Jen and for our team for today, Instagram updates and Instagram changes. Sorry for this. We changed the platform for streaming, and I didn't know why it doesn't work. Okay, moving forward, I saw on Twitter that there is an option, they are testing an option to group profiles on Instagram. We know that right now Facebook means only groups. So every time I want to see something on Facebook, or I don't know, I want to get something from Facebook, groups are my way to go. I get a lot of information from there, and with this option, I think they are trying to
copy Facebook.
Copy paste. Yeah, replicate this behavior and move it to Instagram as well. And I was wondering, what are you thinking about this?
Yeah, this is one of those ones I'm not so excited about. I think it has potential, but again, like anything that they test, there's so much room for change, right? So even what we see in tests right now, if this even rolls out, it could look completely different. So it's hard to, jump on the bandwagon and be like, yeah, because who knows what'll actually happen when it rolls out. But yeah, it's one of those things where I can see some advantage. Of course, they're trying to remain competitive. They're trying to find reasons to keep people on the platform and not go to TikTok or, not go other places. And so I think I kind of feel like they're grasping at straws for this. Because again, this is, keep Instagram. Instagram is not for groups, and it's not a platform environment that really supports that kind of engagement. Facebook has a different network capability. It has a different interaction that supports group environments, and we have different content, options to be able to put things in there and to be able to interact in that way. So I'm not a fan of this just yet, but I think there is some potential and there's some opportunities to be able to use a group feature, especially if you have something like I have a membership program. If I was able to, pull some content in there in a group format, if you've got like a VIP or something sort of like elite group of customers, or if you want to have something for your team members. Obviously there's a lot of ways that groups can be used advantageously. So we'll have to see how this rolls out and how they actually start integrating those profiles for the conversations. And like I said, I worry about when they start trying to make Instagram Facebook. I'm like, come on, they're different, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I think that what you want to see on Facebook is different than what you want to get from Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's why we'll see how this will impact us.
Yeah.
So my last item for this live is about TikTok versus Reels. We did some studies and comparing this type of content, and of course, we observed that TikToks had different engagement rates compared with Reels as a type of format, as a type of content. And we know that from the content creator's perspective, a lot of TikToks are shared on Instagram. But when it comes to brands and businesses, they already know that they shouldn't, they already know the practices. So, okay, if I post the same short video on TikTok on Reels, it should be dedicated and tailored to the platforms. I was wondering what you're thinking about these two type of content, TikToks and Reels.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things that, I mean, they're obviously the same, even though they're different. And yes, TikTok still continues to outperform when it comes to reach, engagement, ability to grow. I mean, you'll see somebody start a TikTok account and within, a month, they have 10,000 followers. I wish we could do the same thing on Instagram. Let's face it, Instagram is a lot harder to grow these days. But that's because, again, Instagram users have a different behavior. People go to TikTok and they have, TikTok behaviors. They come to Instagram, they have Instagram behaviors. They are different. And so it's you're comparing apples to apples, but they're really not. So it's hard to make those differences and those correlations. But yes, to your point, if you're creating videos for TikTok, if you're filming them in TikTok, make sure obviously that you're stripping the logo and whatever else before you put it on Instagram. Ideally, if you can film outside either app and then upload, like even if you just film all your individual video clips and then upload to TikTok and stitch together and add your music there, then do the same thing on Reels, stitch them together, add everything. That way you're keeping them as unique to each platform. Even if they're technically the same content, you've got different filters, maybe even if it's the same music, but you've got different overlays or text boxes or whatever it is. It just keeps them a little bit separate and unique to their individual platforms, because we all know what a TikTok video looks like. We see it on Reels. We know that was built on TikTok. Like, they're different enough that you start to recognize that. And from a brand perspective, that does have an impact, right? Like, we know when you've taken something from somewhere else and you put it on Instagram. Small businesses, casual users, okay, you kind of get a pass. But as bigger brands, you're expected to create that content. And Instagram rewards that original content. If they feel like that video, like if you have a video built anywhere else and you upload it to Instagram and hit publish, they're assuming that video is on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Twitter, Facebook Reels. They assume that that same video in that exact same format is other places, and that can decrease that reach and distribution as well. So if you upload it to Instagram Reels, add a filter, add the music, add a sticker, add the captions, whatever it is, Instagram goes, oh, well, you did some editing in app.
Yeah.
You've made this a unique piece of content. It's more likely to get that distribution and reach. So even if it came from TikTok, try to customize it at least a little bit within Instagram and make it Instagram content. And that'll help you not only with the interaction with your audience, but actually with distribution on the platform as well.
Yeah, and I think this is a great advice. At least use another cover for what
Yeah.
you are using on TikTok versus what you're using on Instagram. So I think it's important to have dedicated content on each platform and not just copy paste on both platforms. So thank you so much, Jen, for being with me today. And so sorry for everyone who cannot watch us on LinkedIn. I will share the link with you on our LinkedIn channel. I'm so sorry for this. I don't know what happened. Um, so I think that my last question for you, Jen, is where people can find you.
Yeah, of course. I'm pretty much everywhere as Jen's Trends. It's JENNS_trends. That's my handle on pretty much every social media platform. You can find me at my website, jenstrends.com, which is my blog with a lot of, Instagram news, updates, resources. And as Adina had mentioned earlier in the show, I do have a newsletter that goes out the first Wednesday of every month, and that recaps all of the Instagram news and updates from that previous month, plus all the other big social media news. So it's a really robust one-stop shop for pretty much everything you need to know about Instagram and social media. And you can sign up for that if you go to my website, jenstrends.com. You can sign up there and get on that. And I promise I won't blast your email with a whole bunch of things. You get basically one email a month from me because I don't have enough time to write any more emails either. So it's a good place to get all that information and stay up to date.
Yeah, and also your group or your Facebook group, because there are a lot of people that are asking questions about Instagram changes and asking you for advice. So you can search from Jen's Trends on Facebook as well.
Yeah, just search Jen's Trends in social media. You'll find the Facebook group. It's a free group. There's, I don't know, a few thousand members in there, but like I said, a good safe place to come and ask questions and get clarification on myths or rumors or things that are going around, whether it's Instagram or social media. So always another great place to hang out.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us, and thanks again, Jen, for being with me today.
Of course, my pleasure.
Thank you. Bye bye.